right, so let's get into, yes, what you can see right behind me, the NPP, New Patriotic Party, going into the regions. We're looking at how they are planning to execute this, especially on the back of some of the very difficult situations they faced in some constituencies here in Accra, there in the Ashanti region and beyond. Well, joining us for a conversation as we hit the northern, northeast, Savannah, Upper East and Bono regions. We have, I see Richard Kwadwo-Nyarko, I see Isaac Nonya in the Savannah region, Kwadwo-Nyarko in the central region, Maxwell Kudeko in the eastern region, and Ilyasu Tanko in the northeast region. All of them joining us for the conversation. I'll start with you, Richard Kwadwo-Nyarko, because in the central region, there's quite a bit of a picture being painted there. Ekumfi constituency and the petition they've put forward. So that election is not coming off. What exactly triggered this?
Well, so the elections have been conducted in all the constituencies in the central region. So they were supposed to be conducted in the constituencies in the central region. But for Ekumfi, according to the aspirant there, they went through the vetting. Only one person didn't pass the vetting, and so had to appeal to the election management body, and were told that he was cleared. And so they told them that they will set a date for the conduct of that particular elections because they've done the police station elections, the ward elections, and all of that. They have been waiting, but no one seemed to be telling them anything until they heard that the elections were going to be held today. And so they organized a press conference, and then within that space, they were told that the person that was cleared lately, later on, had gone to insult the regional chairman, and they feel that was the reason why they did not really allow the elections to be conducted in the constituency. So they filed an interlocutory injunction at the Cape Coast High Court, and right. So the injunction has duly been served on the election management body, and that is the reason why they have to put the elections on brakes. And so they are waiting for the injunction motion to be heard before they can decide on whatever dates. Their fear was that they would be disenfranchised, their right will be curtailed, the right to participate in the regional elections will be curtailed should they go ahead with the regional contest. And so that is why the elections have been put on hold.
All right, I'll be coming back to you shortly. But even before I do that, so when is it slated for? I mean, for now, there is no designated time for
exactly,
the elections to be held.
Until the motion on notice is heard by the courts, they cannot slate any time because they have to finish with that. Depending on the decision of the court, they would have to conduct the elections at the Ekumfi, because that is the constituency executives and other delegates that are supposed to vote in the regional elections.
All right. As for the Ashanti region, of course, we know that there is the venue that has been changed. Now the Baba Yara Sports Stadium would be used. But let's go up north, specifically to the northeast region. Ilyasu Tanko joins us from there. What is the latest, Ilyasu, when it comes to the elections to be held in the northeast region? What have the preparations been like, and what have people been saying as they go to the polls today?
Well, as you can see from the background, this is the venue for the election, and as you can see, supporters and delegates have started coming to the venue. And a while ago, I saw the arrival of the regional chairman, the incumbent chairman, who is seeking re-election. I have also seen a couple of some aspirants as well. I have seen members of the election committee, and I've also seen some members of the regional executives here as well. And so people continue, party supporters, aspirants, and they are simply to trunk the venue here at the Naleriku Senior High School, where the process has already begun. I can see heavy security presence. Police are here. I can see some armed police as well. As we speak now, the police are at the entrance trying to ensure that we have the peaceful election. As I speak to you now, I have the regional communication officer, Mr. Amos Walibi, to tell us the preparations so far this morning. Welcome to join us, Mr. Amos.
Thank you, Ilyasu.
So what is the preparation like? When are we expecting to see the election take off?
I think, as you can see, this year.
All right, Ilyasu, just hold for me if you can hear me. We'll come back for that interaction with you. Just hold for me. We'll come back so we can get the feed for that interaction. But let me bring in Maxwell Kudeko in the Eastern region, another crucial region when it comes to the party. You know that it has been crucial to the fortunes of the NPP, not just the Ashanti region, but the Eastern region as well. Maxwell connects with us from the Eastern region. Max, good morning. Maxwell Kudeko, if you can hear me.
I can hear you. Good morning.
Good morning. Now, how is it shaping up? How are things shaping up in the Eastern region when it comes to this regional vote? I mean, what have people said to you, the leadership of the party in the region, and maybe your interactions with the delegates? What is it pointing to?
Well, the Eastern Regional Delegate Conference is one of the most crucial or looked up to elections in this entire processes of the NPP, in a sense that many have described the regional election, especially the regional chairmanship contest, as a contest between powers, i.e. the contest between the presidency and that P for IBTF, in a sense that there's a wide perception that the two major contenders...
Maxwell, I lost a bit of what you said.
Regional chairmanship.
If you could just go back. You say it is a contest between...
Well, many have said that the regional contest, especially the regional chairmanship contest, is a contest between the presidency and Mr. Brian Champon, in a sense that...
Well, unfortunately, they're a very important point you're making, but we're struggling to hear you. Max, let's try one last time. All right. So, Max, we'll try to reach you on phone so you can give us the scoop on that. But let's go back to Ilyasu. Ilyasu, thank you for rejoining us. You were going to have an interaction with one of the regional executives. You can go ahead with that transition now.
Yeah, so that's the regional communication officer. He's going to tell us when the exams will end. The election, will be started. Yes, Mr. Amos, thank you for coming.
You can see yourself, everything is almost set. We are very certain that by 10
it's not ready yet. Let me pick this one.
Hello, we can commence voting. We plan that by 12 p.m. everything should be done. So we're hoping that by 10 a.m. voting should commence by 12 p.m. You know, Northeast is a small region. We have 146 delegates, and so it wouldn't take us so much time. So we are very hoping that within 2 hours, voting and counting done about 12 p.m. everything will be done.
I mean, yesterday there was an issue about a petition that was written or that has been written to the election committee.
Yeah. Yeah, they have been resolved. The petition had to do with the Nasara coordinator position. Someone is contesting the woman, and it was alleged that he was not a voter in the region. But that has been established. We have been able to establish that indeed he's a voter in the region. So that has been resolved. Now, with the security concerns, I hope you have seen yourself. Especially this has to do with race. That one is keenly contested race. And you have seen that they have provided sufficient security for all the three aspirants, the incumbent and his two contenders. They have provided sufficient security to guide them. And you have seen for yourself in the venue. I think the security here is more tight than in 2019. You were here. You have seen how the security is. If you are not a delegate, if you are not a protocol member, if you don't have accreditation, as you have seen, you are not allowed to come. You are supposed to stand 100 meters away from the venue. You have seen the people. See that the venue is very clear. And we are urging the security to keep it that way until the voting and counting is all over. So we are very hopeful that the security will be very tight and there won't be any mayhem.
Well, that's the regional communication director there. And like I said, this is a very important contest in the context that this is the home region of the vice president. Almost all the aspirants that I have been speaking with have been saying that they are going to win this election for the vice president. And that is the message that has been running across. The chairman has on several occasions say that or says that he wants to win this particular election for the vice president to ensure that the party gets all the 6 constituencies in the next election. That was the agenda in 2020, but that didn't happen. The party in the region ended up having 4 seats out of the 6 seats. And because of the ambition or the aspiration of the vice president to lead the party, this is a very crucial election for regional executives here who are all saying that they are seeking re-election to ensure that they help the vice president who is coming from this region to win all the seats, the 6 constituencies, so that it can help the vice president in his political fortune. So yes, that is currently happening. Like I said, more people continue to come in, the security continue to be tighter. I can see on the way that there's a heavy scrutiny as well as heavy presence of security personnel. You will have to show your accreditation. You will have to show why you should be allowed to take part in this process. And so yes, the process has begun here in the Northeast Regional Capital, Nalergo.
All right, Eliasu, thank you for joining us from the Northeast region. Let's also bring in Isaac and Nonya, who joins the conversation. Isaac, a very good morning to you.
Yes. So, I just want to finish with my list.
Do we have Isaac joining the conversation? All right. So we'll also connect with Isaac Nonya, who will be bringing his report as well on the dynamics where he finds himself. Can you hear me now? All right. We appear to have a bit of an issue with that, but we're targeting a number of regions, and we'll be bringing you the scoop on that. Northeast. I saw Ivy Setoji a while earlier. We'll be connecting from there as well. We've heard from Richard Kwejunyako in the Central Region. Isaac, if you can hear me now, so what is the latest that you can report?
The latest is that all 173 delegates are in. Many of them are currently at the venue. And then about 20.
So where specifically are you? Where specifically are you?
I'm right here at the Savannah Regional Police Headquarters to see if the police are also ready for today's exercise. I will speak, 2 trucks have been deployed to the venue to monitor the exercise. About 21 delegates, 21 candidates are parading for 10 positions. The second vice is going unopposed, while all the other 10 positions are being contested. 4 of the positions that are clearly contested are the chairmanship, secretary, regional organizer, and a women organizer. All these positions, all the incumbents are going again. And one interesting thing is the regional chairmanship. The incumbent man who was able to marshal 3 seats, is being firstly contested by another notable figure, one Azuma, a businessman. I think the key contest has to do with the 2 of them, but you can't also forget about the regional secretaryship. Communication officer is going to his boss, Wam Saharuna, and that is being seen as it has placed the incumbent as let's say as an underdog, because the regional secretary position they perceive it to be like one that should be very vocal and very current to issues. But some of the delegates are saying that no, that the man has no expectation, and for that matter, they should give it to the communication officer who has been a communicator and can do that better job. The woman organizer, for her case, one Safia, she's clearly contested by 2 other women, and where they're saying that because it's going to be for the second time that she's going, it's likely that she's going to lose to either of the 2 that are contesting her. But by and by, the polls for now, according to the executives, are going to be peaceful, and all arrangements are being made for them to ensure that that peaceful wish comes to pass.
You spoke about the chairmanship position in the Savannah region, reminiscent of what we are seeing in the Ashanti region, where Chairman Wontumi is being, contested fiercely by others. But what are some of the issues that the people are hinging a maintenance of the current chairman or a removal on? What are some of the issues in the Savannah region's NPP that they are looking at, that the delegates are considering in terms of where they will vote?
The delegates are talking about maintaining the force that brought the 3 seats, and also looking at unity. On the part of maintaining the force, I think the incumbent regional chairman has the advantage. But when you're talking about unity, even within the current executives, they think that the chairman has not done well, and they need a figure that can bring unity. It can bring all the parties together to move forward and then either maintain or add more seats to the 3 that have already gotten. Because Savannah region, according to them, is an orphan constituency to that of the New Patriotic Party, and they need unity. So the delegates are divided in the sense that those who want the force to be maintained, for the 3 seats to be maintained or more added, are talking about the incumbent man to be retained, while the rest are others are also saying that no, the current one has not been able to ensure unity among the rank and file of the party, especially the executives. We know there's a bad blood, according to them, between him and his deputy, the first and second vice, and then the regional secretary, the outgoing one. But it happened that most of the delegates who think that the force should be maintained think that they need to become the strength of the Savannah region by getting 4 and giving 3 to the NDC, which is seen as the dominant party in Savannah region.
Well, thank you, Isaac, for connecting with us, bringing us the scoop. Let's also go to Martina Bugri. Let's go to Martina Bugri in the northern region. Martina, very good morning.
Good morning.
Great to connect with you. It's been a while. What can you report from the northern region in terms of the dynamics there? Today is D-Day.
Yes, we are at the Aliu Mahama Sports Stadium where the elections will take place, and the delegates and aspirants are yet to arrive. The place seems very empty. But we are told that once they are settled, they are giving us up to 10 o'clock, that once they are settled, they would begin. Now, let's go through. We have 382 delegates who are expected to vote today, and the breakdown is 306 constituency executives, regional executives, we have 17, Council of Elders 10, Council of Patrons 10, founding members 4, 9 MPs, 26 TESCOM members, and together they make 382. We are told that it's strictly by invitation or according to accreditation. If you don't have accreditation, you would not be allowed into the venue. And so we are told that an aspirant is supposed to come in with 2 agents and 3 supporters. The ET is allowed, accredited media houses are allowed, the MPs are allowed, and special guests of honor who will be given accreditation. Except these people, any other person will not be allowed into the election venue. And as we speak, from the about 200 meters to the venue, there are barricades. You need to go through strict security, and then you are allowed to come into the venue. And so we have about 3-4 checkpoints to be able to have access into the venue. Before you get into the hall, you also have 2 places you will need to be checked before you are allowed. Now we are told that they are beefing up security to ensure that we have a successful election without hitches. I must say that the main contention is the chairmanship position, where we have 2 people, the incumbent Mohamed Samba and then Alhaji Ahmadu Inusa. They are the 2 key people are looking at. It looks like the other contestants are not really being noticed. Their attention has been on the chairmanship position, and that has run through the campaign up till now that we start. When you come to the venue, the place is littered with posters and paraphernalia of the party. It's all set. We have the Northern Regional Crime Officer here, and he's going to help us understand why they have beefed up security so much at the venue. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
And we want to find out why this heavy security presence today.
The current security that we have or we are experiencing now is to ensure the safety of each and every one. You remember the issue of terror alerts. We have to ensure that we have adequate security for everybody. Scan persons that are seen to be carrying packages or bags, and also to ensure that people will not come in to come and cause problems or disturb the smooth running of the elections. So our main priority is borders on the issues of terror alerts and ensuring that we are all safe within the stadium here.
Now, we have seen that right from the beginning of the entrance, you would have to go through several checks. And at the final point, you go through body checks. Now, how long will this go on? Because once people enter and the show begins, everybody goes to sleep. How will this go through?
It's going to continue as long as we remain here until the elections are conducted and concluded, and we all are sure that everybody is safe, and at the close of the day, we'll walk home. So when we are dispersed or when we leave here, that's the end of our job, then we'll all go home.
Will it be only the police that will be available, or we have the military joining and we have some other standby officers somewhere?
Or we are doing it in conjunction with the sister security agencies. But for now, we have the police on the front line, and it is our mandate, our job to be doing that. We hope that we will not be overwhelmed in case of any event or eventuality. We'll call in those on the reserve or on standby. We still have more personnel available who are standing by for us.
Before today, they have had press conferences accusing the security of taking sides and joining some group to fight opposition members. What do you have to say to this allegation?
Of course, it's the police that is mandated to carry out these activities. If they say using security, I don't even know who is using the security. We have been running elections, national elections, and all this for a while. And it's the police that has been ensuring security for everybody. So I don't see how someone will go and say something somewhere to affect the conduct of security at our place here. So the security is in charge. Of course, it's the police. Are we going to say that because of that, people should carry personal security? Well, what's our use here? That is even the reason why we are ensuring stringent security checks at this place.
Thank you very much. You heard the Northern Regional Crime Officer and Superintendent Baba Anangan.
All right. Thank you for connecting, Martin Abuguri, bringing us the details from the Northern region, and we await the action there. But let's reconnect with Maxwell Kudeko on phone. Initially, the Zoom connection was not that good. Maxwell, so the Eastern region, crucial to the NPP's success year on year when it comes to the electoral cycle. What are the dynamics now that we should be looking at? And especially when it comes to the leadership, the chairperson, in fact, the general secretaryship position. How is that panning out together with the chairmanship position in the Eastern region?
Well, as I indicated earlier, there is a wide perception, especially with regards to the chairmanship position, that the chairmanship contest is a contest between the presidency on one side and the powers that be in the Eastern region, that is Mr. Brandy Champon, in a sense that the regional secretary now, who is contesting for the chairmanship, is perceived to be being sponsored or being pushed by Mr. Brandy Champon. And then also, that is Mr. Jeff Koneduado. He is perceived to be being sponsored or being spearheaded. His campaign is being spearheaded by Mr. Brandy Champon. And his major contender, Mr. Kwadwo Boateng Ajiman, who is the new Gabin North Constituency chairman, he is also perceived to be being sponsored or being pushed by the presidency. And this message has been moving around the delegates in the last week or two. So everybody is trying to prove that they have the numbers, they have the powers.
So people, they are basically flexing muscles, right?
Exactly. Whether Mr. Brandon Champon is able to overpower the powers that be from the presidency, or the presidency will still maintain this relevance in the region. So it's been a very tight campaign. Mr. Jeff Konedu, his major campaign has been that he has been in the region, he's worked in the region, he is connected most with the party people in the last elections. He has worked closely with the constituency people. So he stands a better position to chair the region. However, his major contender, Mr. Kojo Boatiajiman, also says that the position of the regional chairmanship is that of a coordination role. And in order to perform very well as a regional executive or regional chairman, you need to gather that kind of experience from the constituency. He has been a 4-term constituency chairman and has worked tirelessly to increase the vote of the New Gabon North constituency. He said among other things that the current leadership of the NPP in the region cannot beat their chest that indeed they are so content with the performance of the party in the last election. He accused the current leadership for supervising the defeat of the party in 2 major constituencies, in a sense that the Ayensuano constituency, the NPP lost the seat to the NDC. Meanwhile, the Ayensuano constituency is a traditional seat, so to say, for the NPP. And then also, Akotia constituency went to the NDC in the last election under the supervision of the current regional executive. So, Mr. Jeff Konedu cannot pride himself in any achievements under this current administration. So, Mr. Konedu has been campaigning on that scope, that but for his leadership, the NPP wouldn't have secured the Upper West Achim seat. He claimed that he was coordinating the internal relations in that constituency, and he contributed into the victory. So that has been the major campaign. But a lot of people, Mr. Kojo Boateng joined the race just about 2 weeks ago. However, Mr. Jeff Konedu started the campaign since last year. So until recently, a lot of people were moving with Mr. Jeff Konedu. It appears the dynamics is changing, because if you talk to people who either two were very close or who were pushing the agenda of Mr. Jeff Konedu, they seem to be backing down a bit. So nobody can beat his chest and say that for the regional chairmanship election, it is going to be for A or B. It's going to be a very crucial election, though. Anything at all can happen. The story is changing small. So that is the lookout for position in the Eastern region. Presently, the first vice chairman position is being contested. There's only one person. Ideally, we are told that 29 people had to contest for 10 positions in the Eastern region. However, out of the 29, 26 passed through the vetting. However, when the party was printing the ballot papers, 2 other people withdrew from the contest. So now we have 21 aspirants contesting for 10 positions in the regional election. The first vice chairman position is being contested unopposed by Mr. Richard Korantin Chum. He is popularly known as Chumberima. The second vice chairman position is contested by Mr. Frank Apia. He is a constituency chairman at Kropon constituency. Mr. Paul Amenin is also in the second vice chairmanship race. And Mr. Otin Edu, Michael Otin Edu, he is also a former chairman of the New Gabon South constituency. In the last regional election, he contested for the first vice chairmanship position against the current first vice chairman, Alhaji Umar Bodinga, but he lost narrowly to Alhaji Umar Bodinga. So he has staged a comeback for the second chairman position. He is also campaigning based on the same experiences Mr. Kojo Ajima Boateng is also campaigning. He is also saying that to be on a regional executive platform, you should be able to gather that kind of experience, because election is not conducted at the regional level. It is conducted at the polling station level in the constituency. So we believe that people with that expertise need to be or need to serve on the regional elections, regional executive platforms. The secretaryship contest is between Mr. Anthony Osei Eje. He's a former research officer and director of elections for the party in the Eastern region. He's come back to contest as a regional secretary. He's being contested by Mr. Bokman Ekufu, who he is a lecturer at the Kofodia Technical University here in Kofodia. Assistant secretaryship position is being contested by a few main people. Nana Yapapen, he is the incumbent assistant secretary, is being contested by Felix Osafu Mafu and Ofuri Ata. The two guys are also contesting. The regional organizer involves three key aspirants. Jerry Osepoku is the current youth organizer. He's moved ahead to contest for the regional organizer position. He's having a contest. He's being contested fearlessly by Mr. Opoko Champion George. He is also a constituency organizer in the Frontier Kwa North constituency, and Ahmed Yusuf Yona. The women organizer election is between Madame Fatih Vundoli. He's a current women organizer. He's been contested by Mercy Ano Dako. I'm told she's an educationist. She's also contesting the current women organizer. And Asara is contested, is going on a post. Hussein Mohammed Fadilu. The treasurer Ben Kumi Labis is also going on a post. In the regional youth organizer position is being contested by Ademu Musa, Aaron Donko, and Wuto Isaac Asante. So these are the positions for grab. But the major issue is that there are one constituency in the region that they don't have the opportunity to participate in tomorrow's election. That is the Kropon constituency. There are some issues concerning some eligibility and a lot of issues in that constituency. So the constituency, they have the opportunity to go for a constituency congress to elect constituency executive. So I'm told that there's also an injunction on that constituency. So a Kropon will not have a representation in this election. That is tomorrow. There are two other constituencies, that is Nkoko constituency and the Suhum constituency.
Right, Max. So we're grateful for the details. Very in-depth, reporting there on the situation in the Eastern region, and we'll keep our eyeballs on that because it's a very important region as far as the NPP is concerned. One of their major, strongholds, if you like. Let's get to Isaac Nonya. Or should I say, let me go to Ivy Setoji in the Volta region. Ivy, a very good morning to you. Now, in the Volta region, what can you report as far as the dynamics today and in the coming days are concerned? What are the reports you're getting?
It's going to be a very interesting day. Due to the venue of the election, initially they wanted to send it to the south, that is Jalukope in the Kesa municipality. But yesterday we had a message that it was going to be held in the regional capital because of some issues between the committee and the people involved. So as we speak, for the venue, we are yet to know specifically where they are going. It's going to be held in Ho, but the election is going to be held in Ho. For the regional chairmanship, the incumbent is still going. That is Mr. McAfee Kofi Wanya, who said he needs another 4 terms to do all the things he promised. He built the regional office according to the party members. So it's also the slot is being contested by Pastor Johnson Kwame Abulet. That's the immediate former deputy regional minister. And then the secretary for the party, Joseph Komenya, is now contesting for the chairman position. So two people are contesting the incumbent, Makasu Kofi Wanya. And then when we go for the secretary aspirant, we have the communications director, Pope Yaoyobu, contesting for the secretary position. Dr. Prince Seduke Amusu also contested. That's the former Akachi of DCE, a former communications director, so is also contesting the same position. He's contested 3 times already and lost. That's Enoch Amegloto and one Mr. Kwesi Akia Fente with the national security. The treasurer, we have 3 people contesting for women organizer. We have the incumbent going, and we also have a former deputy women organizer, Hannah Shade, also contesting, who is also very sure of winning this time around. And a new face, Mabel Amegleto. So it's going to be very interesting tomorrow, trust me, because of the dynamics, because of the issues surrounding the elections. We understand Curtis South will have their elections after this because there was an injunction on their election some time ago.
Okay, doke. So that is the latest from the Volta region as well. Ivy, thank you for bringing us the scoop. Let's also engage now someone central to all these elections, the Director of Elections and Research with the NPP, Evans Nimako. Mr. Nimako, a very good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, my brother.
It's a pleasure. It's been a while. I hope you're keeping well.
His grace has been sufficient for me. I hope you are doing well too.
By God's grace, yes, the same grace. The NPP goes to the polls at the regional level, and we've heard of so many different dynamics from the Ashanti region, where Chairman Wontumi, who promised to deliver all 47 constituencies, has failed to do so, and to have that, party office, regional party office, that has also not materialized. He's being taken on. I know there are some elections happening today, not the Ashanti region, till Sunday, but I want to start from there. When you look at the situation in the Ashanti region currently, and the fact that Wontumi went unopposed, at a point, but now he's receiving such stiff opposition, what do you think it bodes for the fortunes of the NPP?
Thank you, Mr. Evans. Once again, let me greet your listeners.
This is Benjamin Akakpo, actually, that you're interacting with.
Ben. Oh, Ben. How are you doing?
I am well.
I'll say to myself, Konyolo.
All right. No, I know you don't have the benefit of watching, so it's all right. Yeah.
Yes, thank you very much. Going to the campaign, once there are other interested contestants, I wouldn't want to do an assessment of the previous elections in 2028 and how it has all turned out. But what I'm going to say is that the party is set. The elections committee has put together all the necessary arrangements to ensure smooth conduct of the regional annual delegate conference. We are in touch with the Ghana Police Service for provision of security arrangements. We are in touch with the Electoral Commission as the law requires for them to supervise the conduct of the elections. So, once it is the regional annual delegate conference, there are other usual rituals that are performed by conference. So those dates will be done, and then when time is due for the conduct of the elections committee chairperson will have the mandate to hand over the process to the Electoral Commission to conduct the election. It is hoped that at the end of this exercise, we are going to have a set of executives at the regional level to steer the affairs of the party and champion the campaign and arrangement and all processes and all strategies put together to ensure the party's victory comes 2024.
How about in the central region? What is your viewing there? Because there too, an injunction is impeding the process, a Kumfi constituency coming to the fore there. How is that going to affect the rollout of the regional elections as planned, the roadmap?
Well, per our constitutional provisions, the regional conference or all conferences, constituency level, regional and national, are convened and chaired by the respective chairpersons. I've been notified that the regional chairman has been officially served with the processes, and therefore, upon advice from his lawyers, has indicated his unwillingness to convene a conference. So in view of that, it will be difficult to have Central Regional Delegate Conference coming on today. And I'm also informed, and that's also the case, we at the national headquarters have not been served with any processes. But be as it may, once the regional chairman has been officially served, we will comply with the court processes and we will take the necessary steps to ensure that the issue with a conflict which has resulted in this gets resolved. Already, it has come before the Adapa committee. Work has been done on it. It is expected that when the actions are implemented, there will be amicable peace and there will be a way out for us to move on.
Let's turn next to the Eastern region. Crucial for you when we look at the number of votes you've been getting. I mean, apart from the Ashanti region, the Eastern region is big for the NPP. Some fierce contests there as well, from what we're being told. The chairmanship position, general secretaryship, and more. Is this going to deepen the democratic practice at the regional level or going to create a rift? Because it appears to be pretty stiff opposition.
Well, I mean, contestation always comes with its own issues. And one thing the New Patriotic Party strive on is competition. And so we are open at all levels. The party do not impose candidates. What we do is to allow for a free role of the election process. And so, as has been done, it is expected that the elections committee will conduct its processes in accordance with the directives given, as in the rules and regulations, as well as in the party's constitution.
And so generally, looking at, I mean, the roadmap we have for the elections, Ashanti region on Sunday at the stadium, and all the other dynamics we're going to be looking forward to in the next few days, what are your expectations, especially considering that at the constituency level, we've seen patches of concerns here in the Greater Accra region, the Ashanti region, Eastern, Western, practically across the country, up north as well. What is going to be different this time? What is the plan to prevent similar happenings?
Well, what the party has done is to allow for the process to run freely, to run transparently, and the committee put together by the National Executive Committee is to ensure that we have a process that will ensure free and fair conduct of the elections. And so we are getting that done. There are a few issues that came up, as you've mentioned. But internal elections, people will definitely have interest. But at the end of the day, we make sure that the rules and regulations are fully complied with by all stakeholders. And so that's exactly what we've been doing.
Begging your indulgence, craving your indulgence, I just want your take on this as we wrap and, take the thoughts of our viewers. In the Greater Accra region, of course, that also yet to come up, but there is the Dome Kwabenya situation, and we've been hearing from Sarah Adjwasafo in recent times. Is she going to get the nod in Dome Kwabenya? I mean, looking at the dynamics there, what is the party looking forward to as far as that constituency is concerned? Because it's crucial to the fortunes of the party in the Greater Accra region.
I've mentioned to you that as a party, we do not impose candidates on any set of constituency or any set of group. But where we are now is really the conduct of regional elections. We are done with the polling stations. We are done with our electoral area. We are done with constituencies. So we're doing our regional elections. When we are done, the party will be set to conduct the national officers' elections at the National Delegate Conference. And then leadership will come with the timelines for parliamentary and presidential candidate election. So this is, I don't think this is the time for discussions for parliamentary primary.
Right. It's early days yet. I only brought it up because it is indeed a thorny matter. Of course, the Privileges Committee brought into the picture. And interestingly, Sarah Adjua-Safo interacting with us yesterday. But I understand your point, and it's a fair point to make. We're grateful for your time, Evans.
I'm grateful for having me.
Right. Evans Nemako, Director of Elections and Research with the NPP. But at this juncture, let's quickly get into some of what you've been sharing with us on social media and beyond. So we posed that question. There have been calls for the president to sack Adjua-Safo as the gender minister. So that is moving away from Parliament and focusing on her ministerial role. What is your take on this? Share your thoughts with us on the AM show. We'll get some of the comments on social media, but we'll also activate the phone lines so you can call in and share your thoughts. The number to call 0302-211-691 extension 2. Call that number. Let's hear from you. 0302-211-691 extension 2. Call that number and let us hear from you. So we'll be getting into some of the answers coming through. And, okay, so let's start from here. Slow boat. Okay, you say Akufo-Addo has no tenacity to sack Adjua-Safo. He is, I can't read the rest of it. Let's be fair in the points we make. This one says, okay, Ghani's tours. I am waiting to see whether the people of her constituency will still vote for her again as MP. Ghana and Kasa. All right, but that is your thinking. The people in her constituency may decide to vote. That is up to them. Benjamin Amankwa says, my thought is that we should sack the president himself. Well, there are ways of doing that. You have to wait for the appropriate time to arrive, and if you feel he's not delivered, like we've done in the past, you vote him out. Queen Blessing says, hey, but Ghana, so someone can abandon her job over a year and still be getting her salary? There is God, oh. Okay, that is your thinking. Akedim Carlos says, okay, a full ministry has been abandoned for a year now or more, and she feels her child is more important than all the 30.8 million population or even the constituents that voted for her. Okay, so I get your point. When you say 31 million thereabouts, you're talking about her role as minister. But as a parliamentarian, of course, that's a smaller crowd. Ironically, she draws her huge, let's get the details of that, salaries every month from the Ghanaian taxpayer. My little worry is that if Adjua-Safo were to be in Kolebu or CAF or UGMC with a child, even 3 years off duty would not be enough. But to deliberately ignore the job given you by the constituents and ministry, yet to have your salary paid right, beats my imagination. All right. So we have your thoughts coming through. I believe we shall have a few calls shortly. But so I don't really, Jerome says, I don't really talk about politics. But on this one, I don't think what she said yesterday was the best statement to put across. It only looks as though one were fighting for her family with the strength of the people. All right, so the phone lines, 0302-211-691, extension 2. 0302-211-691, extension 2. I believe we have a caller on the line. Hello, where are you calling from?
Yeah, good morning. This is Abenda calling from Kumasi.
Abenda from Kumasi, right.
Yeah.
What are your quick thoughts for us on these matters?
Yeah, I think that she can't just be dismissed outrightly like that, but she must go through the various processes to ascertain whether she is right or not. But what I also say is that Parliament should put things in place so that the legal instruments that they are operating with, they can go by it so that it should not be like they wait for some time and then complaints will be coming. So I think that she needs to have a fair hearing. So she cannot just be dismissed like that. Thank you.
All right. So fair hearing, fair deal. I've been down in Kumasi. Let's do Isa Baba and Tamale. Isa, good morning.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Good morning, sir.
Great. What are your thoughts on the discussion we're having?
Yes, my thoughts are that she has to do the needful.
Which is what?
Because she's sworn an oath to protect and defend the governor of Ghana. And I think this is not what she's told to do. I think if in relation to the family, all the servants in Ghana, everyone has a family. And it doesn't have to come in line with your duty with Mother Ghana. And I think
so what would you suggest? Because
we're told to do the national pledge, where you pledge that you want to defend the good name of Ghana. Yeah, you want to be faithful and loyal to Mother Ghana. And I think this is not the faithfulness and loyalty to Mother Ghana.
All right,
so
thank
if
you.
There's no one in the family to take care of her children, then and she has to take care of them herself, then she has to do the needful and resign, so that we can get somebody to fit into the position and do what is good for Mother Ghana. Because time is not on our side.
All right. Isa Baba, thank you for sharing your thoughts. Interesting dynamics. Yao from Akachi is also on the line. Hello, Yao.
Good morning.
Good morning, Yao. Your thoughts?
Yeah. I'm grateful, Joy News, you have been able to speak with the MP. And what I would like you to do again is investigate if she still takes her salary as a minister and at the same time being paid as an MP. And let's find out what the law says if you are out of the system for that well. If I am also a teacher, if I should be off for a week, you know the implications. So how can Ghanaians that be used to be paying her as she is away for that long time? In fact, we are jokers in this country. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing your thoughts. But just so you know, for those who may be thinking she's drawing everything as Member of Parliament and drawing a full salary as Minister, there are dynamics. So for Members of Parliament who double as ministers, there's a bit of a top-up, but it doesn't mean they're getting what an MP would get, all of that, and what a minister would get in addition. That's not the way it is. You can call 0302-211-691 extension 2. 0302-211-691 extension 2. We have another caller from Akachi. I have not got your name. Who's on the line? Hello, good morning. All right, I think we've lost that caller. Let me quickly look at some more of your messages, and we'll get right back to you. 0302-211-691 extension 2. Andam David says, I agree with the president, even it has been kept long. Okay. We'll get back to the messages shortly. We have Hamza. Hello, Hamza. Hamza, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. I want to share my thoughts on this.
Sure. Where are you calling from? Before you go on. Ashaiman. All right, go ahead, Hamza.
Sometimes I feel bad when there's a lady in position and you want to talk about myself, I want to talk about her. But then this the whole issue has been an issue of, you are not serving yourself, or maybe say ask permission from the president. You are serving the constituency.
Right.
Because you need to represent them in the parliament. On the day of the budget approval, when there was election of budget approval, there was an allegation that someone impersonated her and that the person came to vote. Then later she was there. Now she has left again. The honorable thing for her to do is to come clarify those allegations and then resign. Then go back to take care of your children. No one will stop you from doing that. But then you are serving people in Ghana. You are serving about something people in your constituency. So the honorable thing for her to do is just to come and tender resignation. Go back and take care of your family. This wouldn't have ended this year, we discussing it from the TV station to other radio stations and those things. So the honorable thing for her to do is just come back, tender your resignation, go back.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you too. Thank you for calling. We'll pick our last caller, John from Cape Coast. Do I have it right? Is it John?
Yeah, this is John Kufo calling from Cape Coast.
All right. What are your quick thoughts, John?
Yeah, my quick thought is, look at this, the government is playing with us. If the government want to tell us that Adwoa Safua is indeed an impediment as far as the Ghana is concerned, the first point of sacking her is from the Ministry of Gender. That is the first point. That one, we don't need any legal banter or anything. Just sack her. You have failed to do this thing. And you want to go embedding parliamentarians. Please, does it make sense? If you think Adwoa Safua is troubling your government, sack her from the position of gender minister. Nobody will ask you any questions. You can do that with ease. But you have failed to do that. But now you turn back and blame Parliament that he is an impediment in parliamentarians' work. Does it make sense? These people, in fact, they want to bring Ghana down. And that is why they are doing this. Why is the president afraid of Adwoa Safua? Why is he afraid of Adwoa Safua? That's a question for them to answer. Thank you.
All right, John from Cape Coast, our final caller. And that is ordinary Ghanaians. Those are ordinary Ghanaians sharing their thoughts. You can share yours with us on social media, and at least we'll know what you've been thinking. But as we wrap the show, water is life. It regulates your body temperature. It keeps you alive and kicking. Awake is premium purified water treated through strict purification processes to ensure that every bottle on the market refreshes you better. We have the perfect size for every occasion, 330 and 500 ml bottles to fit your pockets and bags, 750 ml for the heavy drinkers, and 1.5 liters for those who always want more. Awake has also introduced special 19-liter jars for offices and homes. Now you just need to stay awake with Awake Purified Drinking Water wherever you go. So come on, grab your bottle of Awake water and get quality hydration. Awake Purified Drinking Water, one for life. Remember, for every bottle you purchase, an amount is donated to the National Cardiothoracic Center. It's produced by Casapreco. For bulk purchases, just call 0262 351 251. Well, let's talk money. Did you know that the income of a young entrepreneur from some selected businesses is exempt from tax for 5 years? Any young entrepreneur engaged in manufacturing, information and communications technology, agro-processing, energy production, waste processing, tourism and the creative arts, horticulture and medicinal plants does not need to pay any income tax on these activities for the first 5 years of operation. A young entrepreneur engaged in a business that enjoys an initial 5-year concession benefits from the following applicable rates for an additional 5 years. If you are in Accra and Tema, you enjoy 15%. Other regional capitals outside the 3 northern regions, 12.5%. If you are outside the other regional capitals, you enjoy 10%. And if you fall within the northern regional belt, you enjoy 5%. For further clarity and information, just reach out to your nearest GRA office. Ghana Revenue Authority, integrity, fairness, and service. Right before we go, a happy birthday in advance to Brian Forson of the High Academy. You are 6 years. Is that Eputuoja? Yeah, you are 6 years on Saturday. It's from Nicholas Forson, your father, and your family. Have a wonderful birthday and a wonderful day. On that note, we wrap on the AM show. It's always a pleasure coming your way. My name is Benjamin Akakpo. Don't you forget, up next we have Joy News Desk. We'll be bringing you more details and Joy News today at noon. Have a fab Friday. Stay blessed.